I am a massive Marvel fan. I grew up watching the MCU, playing Marvel video games, and renting tons of Marvel comic books from the local library in my hometown back in high school. So when I first heard about Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a beat-em-up style game set within the Marvel universe, I was immediately on board. Now this game oozes classic beat-em-up style and energy. It has fantastic retro-style graphics that are bright and colorful, making all of the characters pop. It has an awesome arcade-inspired soundtrack and packs in all the button-mashing combo-based fun you expect from a beat-em-up game. Now admittedly, this game is a beat-em-up game to a fault. It doesn't do anything new or crazy with the genre, it just knows what it is and what it's trying to accomplish, and it does it very well. However, if you're not already a fan of the beat-em-up genre, there's nothing that you can expect in this game that's really going to change your mind about that. So don't go into it anticipating that. Honestly, this game reminds me a lot of TMNT Shredder's Revenge, another awesome beat-em-up game available on the Nintendo Switch. So if you're a fan of the genre or TMNT in particular, you'll love this title. Now the story begins with a narration from whom I'm assuming is the Watcher, who explains that the big bad of this game, named Annihilus, has rose from the negative zone and has set his eyes on Earth. He sends his army of bugs to attack, and it's up to the Marvel heroes to save the day. You'll travel from level to level over various well-known locations in the Marvel comics like Genosha, Wakanda, as well as the Savage Lands, taking on tons of familiar Marvel baddies like Sentinels and members of AIM as you battle across these various locations. And they honestly do a very good job at weaving in a ton of Marvel characters that aren't even playable throughout the story. You'll run into people like Professor X, Taskmaster, MODOK, and so many more, which left me as a longtime Marvel fan very excited to see who was going to pop up when I started a new level. But you know who else is an awesome character? Me. I constantly post new Nintendo Switch 2 content, whether it be news, reviews, or things of that nature. So if you're a fan of the Nintendo Switch 2, make sure you sub for more videos like this in the future, because I've constantly got them coming out, and there are so many games on the horizon. There's going to be a lot coming very soon. But speaking of characters, there is a very good selection of them to choose from in this game. You'll start with a number of them already unlocked when you start the game, but as you play through it, you'll unlock more and more to add to your roster of heroes. And there are a lot of familiar faces here, like Spider-Man, Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Panther, but there are also some cool deep cuts as well for those really heavy Marvel fans like Nova, Beta Ray Bill, or even the Cosmic Ghost Rider, making this roster feel very fresh by not just including the same characters we're all used to seeing time and time again. Now, as you play through the game, you'll level up these characters, and leveling them up is going to unlock some bonuses for them along the way, like increasing their overall HP, giving them passive effects, and unlocking color palettes for their costumes. And this is another really fun feature, is seeing all the different color palettes and styles for each of the characters. I really like just seeing which ones they mix and mash in here. Like Wolverine has the standard brown, but then you can switch it to the blue like his X-Men uniform. It's very cool. So this leveling up system gives a lot of incentive to play with multiple characters as you progress through the game. Now, combat in this game feels great. There's the standard basic attack as well as a special attack that changes based on the character that you're playing and their particular power set. Each character also has a super attack that can be used to dish out some massive damage, and this can be used when you fill your super gauge up. But what I think is the most fun part of this game is that in each level you will select two heroes to go in with, and you can freely swap between them at any time. This allows you to mix and mash combos between the different heroes as you're playing on the fly, but also allows you to launch awesome assist attacks during combat by pressing the swap button along with an attack button. And each character actually feels really nice to play in their own way, which is kind of cool to see considering the simplicity of the actual controls of this game. The animations of their moves and attacks add so much character to each of these heroes, making them each really stand out. Like certain characters like She-Hulk feel really heavy and slow moving due to their size and strength as she tosses enemies around the environment, while characters like Black Panther and Spider-Man are more nimble, allowing them to dodge through enemies rather than just block attacks. And each character having their own special attack is really cool as well, like Storm shooting out Arctic Wind at her foes versus Wolverine launching himself at enemies and sinking his claws into them while he does like a rapid fire attack. Like all of these little touches make each character feel so cool. Now, my favorite character was Captain America, which actually surprised me a little bit because I'm not the biggest Cap fan, but I absolutely loved how his shield throw felt. tossing it out into a crowd of enemies and watching it ping pong off them felt so satisfying to use. I just couldn't get enough of it. Now, admittedly, level design isn't anything crazy in this game. Like I said earlier, you'll go from location to location in the Marvel universe, and each level will take you through various segments where enemies will swarm you, and you have to take them down in order to advance to the next segment. And this is all a very traditional beat 'em up fashion. What I did like about these levels, though, was that there were not only collectibles to find within them, but also challenges to complete that would require different characters, incentivizing you to return to levels with other characters if you missed those challenges in your first go-around. Now, as far as difficulty goes, I found this game to be a very nice middle ground. I didn't find taking out the grunt enemies to be overly challenging or overwhelming at any time, but the boss fights did occasionally put up a bit more of a fight and had really fun mechanics, especially the Super Sentinel in Genosha. I found that boss was particularly difficult to take down for me personally. However, if you're looking for a tougher experience, you can try the arcade mode, which is a more classic experience with limited lives, continues, and no save progression. And you can also unlock additional modifiers for this game mode as you continue playing, such as having your super attack cost HP rather than using your super gauge, adding an additional challenge. Now let's move on to the graphics and performance of this game. So like I said earlier, it has a fantastic retro inspired art style. The colors really pop, and the overall style reminds me so much of the old school Marvel comics between the colors and the actual costumes each hero is wearing. The levels each look great as well, each having their own distinct theming and style to them depending on where you are in the world, and the performance is great. I played this game on the Switch too, and the game supports 4K resolution and runs at a flawless 60 frames per second on the system. It just looks fantastic. Now, as you play through the game, find collectibles and complete challenges, you'll find items to use in the Cosmic Matrix, which is like a reward board where you can spend cosmic cubes to get new unlockables like music tracks, color palettes for your heroes, modifiers for the arcade mode, and corpse files, which are essentially data logs containing information about a variety of characters found within the game. There's also an achievement list in the game for those achievement hunters out there that are interested in going for the 100%, giving you even more reason to return to older levels and replay them. Honestly, this game does a really good job at incentivizing you into going back into older levels, whether it be to level up characters, complete challenges you missed the first go round, or completing achievements. There's just a lot to do. Now, the final thing that I wanted to talk about is that this game does support multiplayer. You can play this in the traditional couch co-op style with up to 4 players, but what I think is really cool is that this game does also support game share, allowing you to game with a friend between 2 systems, which is just an awesome touch for a game like this. So after spending some time with Marvel Cosmic Invasion, what are my final thoughts on this game? Well, I think this game knows exactly what it's trying to do, and that's be a traditional style beat 'em up game, and it does that job very well. Like I said earlier, it does not shake up that beat 'em up formula in any significant or meaningful way. It just does a really solid and fun job doing what it does and being a new addition to the genre. But again, if you're not already a fan of that genre, this game isn't going to change your mind on that. The art style and music are great, with all the levels and locations being fun to visit, and the characters are well designed, making each of them feel unique, with their special attacks and combat styles being based on their power sets, and leveling them up feels rewarding due to the bonuses they're rewarded. In between achievements, unlockables, and arcade mode, there are plenty of reasons to replay this game over and over and over again, whether it be by yourself or sitting down with a friend to beat up a ton of baddies together. This game just overall is a really good time, especially for Marvel fans. Coming in at $30 on the eShop, I can definitely say that the price point seems perfect for what this game has to offer, and I would definitely recommend you pick it up. So all in all, I really enjoy Marvel Cosmic Invasion. I think it's a fantastic game and a really awesome addition to the Switch 2 library, and a good way to kind of wrap up the year. You know, we're getting a bunch of games right here, and I'm really glad that Marvel Cosmic Invasion is one of those games. It's just a lot of fun and something that I'm very excited to continue playing, unlocking more cosmetics and things of that nature. There's just a lot to do, and as a Marvel fan, as someone who loves the Marvel comics as much as I do, I'm super stoked to keep playing. It's just so much fun. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know in the comments below. Are you planning to pick this game up? Does this game move the needle for you? Does it do anything for you? Is it just something that interests you in general? Let me know. But like I said, that's gonna be it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out, helps the video out, and helps the channel out immensely. But until next time, peace.